What Lonzo thinks is a wide-ranging, free-flowing discussion where I offer my unsolicited views on everything from movies, music, politics, sports, religion, pop culture, you name it. If it's happening, I'm talking about it. My thoughts are unsolicited, but they're mine, and I share them anyway. All right, I got a special guest for me today, Shonda Lightsey. Thank you for joining me.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No doubt, no doubt. All right, so I'm gonna get right into it. I mean, there's a subject out there right now in the stratosphere that everybody's talking about. So I was thinking this morning. This morning I was laying in bed. I know it's TMI, but I was laying in bed, and I was watching YouTube, and I saw an interview between Bill Maher and Pete Buttigieg.
Okay.
Pete Booty. Everybody messes the dude's name up. Pete Buttigieg.
You should just go by Pete B.
Exactly, PB, like peanut butter. We're gonna call him PB for now. Okay, yeah, for now we're gonna call him affectionately known as PB or peanut butter, whichever suits your needs. Anyway, so I was watching Peanut Butter and his interview with Bill Maher. And if you're listening out there, you don't know who PB is. Pete Buttigieg. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and he is running for president of the United States. And dude is really impressive. If you hear him talk, you can't help but be mesmerized by his sincerity, his acumen, his ability to get across a clear message. And he's probably one of the most impressive people that I've seen to throw their hat into the ring for president. He's a war veteran. He did time in the Vietnam, Afghanistan. He's a war veteran. He's very well read, very well educated. This dude actually learned how to speak Norwegian because he wanted to read a book that was in Norwegian.
That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, dude. I mean, he's about as perfect as a person can get. Because usually there's all these candidates that have some sort of skeleton in their closet, something that people can use as a flaw to exploit. But this guy appears to be. I mean, if you were to just mold the perfect person, he's white, he's male, he's patriotic, he's a war hero. I mean, you name it. All the boxes he's checked, all the boxes to be president or whatever, he's checked all those boxes. Except there's one thing that everybody's going to hold against him, one fatal flaw, so to speak, that everybody's going to hold against him, and it's the fact that he's gay. And I think he's actually he has a husband. So, and I think were it not for that Pete Buttigieg, would be far and away the prohibitive favorite to unseat the current president, David Dennison. So it made me think this morning about homophobia in the United States. And I was thinking to myself, and it dawned on me, I do not understand homophobia. I think I've never understood it. I've never really thought that much about it, but I've never understood homophobia. So that is something I want to talk about today. So that being said, Shonda, do you understand homophobia?
I mean, from my understanding, homophobia is basically a person or people who are prejudiced against people that classify themselves as gay, lesbian. You have a dislike for someone because of their sexual preference. That's a homophobic person. You don't like them because of that.
Absolutely. And I think in the United States of America, homophobia is pretty much rampant. I mean, it's been a hot button topic for all of our lifetimes. I'm sure it's been around for centuries, as far as the dislike and disdain of homosexuality. And my take on all this, my perspective on homosexuality is pretty simple. And I'm just going to go ahead and come out and say it. And I'm sure a lot of people out there probably will agree with me. Is that unless it's illegal, I could care less what another person does with their life, as long as it's not illegal. I could absolutely positively care less. I don't care who you love, what you love, or how you love it. You know, that's is your life, is your priority, is your prerogative to be whomever you want to be in this life, as long as it's not infringing on anybody else's rights. And I don't think being a homosexual infringes on anybody else's rights. And I've never understood why people get so up in arms about the way another person chooses to live their life. You know, it's not like, you know, I'm not homosexual. I don't favor that lifestyle, you know, but someone else being a homosexual in no way impacts me. It's not like Pete Buttigieg is going to come into my house, you know, and molest me or something, or force me to, you know, to become homosexual or something. I mean, that's his life choice. So and not, I'm not just talking about PB. I'm just talking about anybody in general. Homosexuality has never bothered me. I've never cared about it. So do you agree, Shonda? Or what are your thoughts?
I pretty much agree. I don't dislike a person because of their sexual preference. I don't have a dislike for it. I personally don't, like you said, that's not my lifestyle. But to each his own. That's to each his own. Like you said, as long as they're not committing a crime or harming anyone, like you said, who you love, what you love, that's your business. So I agree with you, Lonzo.
Right on. I mean, and you could attach that to basically anything. Like, say, for example, if anyone's listened to my show enough or knows me or seen me on social media, you know the thing that I probably hate more in this world than anything else is racism. I despise racism with every fiber in my body. I despise it. But at the same time, I don't infringe on anyone's right to be racist. Okay? And I've said it before. If you're a racist, more power to you. That's your business. If that's the way you feel, I don't agree with it. And as long as you're not burning across on my front porch or something, or trying to lynch me or my loved ones or whatever, you know, I could care less if you're a racist. That's your prerogative. That's your prerogative to be a racist. I mean, you're not breaking it. Being a racist is not against the law. You know what I mean? You know, but if you're out protesting and you know, burning flags and KKK wearing the sheets and all that kind of stuff, then yeah, you're infringing upon my rights by doing that. It's your freedom of speech. But you're still infringing upon the rights of people who don't agree with you by demonstrating and shoving it in their face or whatever. You have the right to protest, to peaceful protest. But I guess what I'm referring to, like the burning of the crosses, burning of the torches, and all that kind of stuff, like what happened in Charlottesville, all that kind of stuff, that infringes on another person's rights. Same difference when it comes to homophobia. Now, that being said, going back to our boy PB, Peanut Butter. Peanut butter and jelly. You remember that song, I don't want no peanut butter and jelly?
Can't say that I did.
It's a gospel song. He's playing on IBB all the time.
A gospel song?
Yeah, it's a gospel song. I don't want no peanut butter and jelly.
No, I don't remember that one.
All right, so if you're listening out there, look up Google a song called "I Don't Want No Peanut Butter and Jelly." It's a gospel song. So.
Wow.
Yeah, peanut butter and jelly. Anyway, so PBJ, President
Pete B.
Pete B. Yeah. So Pete B. running for president, and think about it. Now everyone says, you know, that he's such an impressive candidate and everything. Right now, he was elected mayor of South Bend, Indiana, and if you know anything about Indiana, that is the state that Vice President Mike Pence is from. Of course, Mike Pence is this so-called, you know, super duper Christian dude. He's so Christian that he accepted the job to be vice president of the United States to someone who's an adulterer, liar, racist, misogynist. This Christian man. And also, everyone knows that Mike Pence is straight up homophobic. He despises homosexuals. And he's been very vocal about it. Now, Pete Buttigieg, good Lord, PB, being from Indiana and being the mayor of a town in Indiana, is ironic when you think that the vice president is from Indiana, and how that's going to play out come next year's election, and especially if PB gets the Democratic nomination. So that brings me back to the topic at hand. Just think, if PB is actually nominated as the Democratic candidate for president, what are, in your opinion, what are his odds of being successful running against the guy who's currently in the White House?
That's interesting. I think a lot of people feel that anybody would be better than what we have right now. For those that are not, his non-supporters, of course. But that's pretty interesting. Homosexual lifestyle is a lot more acceptable now these days than it was many, many years ago. So we have had the first black president in office. One day we will have the first female in office, and there will be other nationalities that will take office. And so at some point, there will be a homosexual. I hate to say that, but at some point that will happen. I don't know if it'll be this gentleman, but one day, that office will have a diversity of people in the near future.
Okay, I'm going to disagree with you 100% on that. I'm going to tell you why.
Okay.
All right. First and foremost, 2 years ago, when before the election, everybody and their grandma just knew Hillary was going to win. She was leading all the polls, and folks were thinking, and I thought it myself.
Well, we all knew that she would have won had the election been totally fair. But there were some things going on behind the scenes. She pretty much did win the election.
Well, she won the popular vote, but she did not win the electoral college.
Right. But as you know, there were some things going on behind the scenes. But she clearly would have won. She was extremely close.
She got 3 million more votes.
She did.
Okay,
so obviously
but not in the right states.
Right. So
and that's the way the system is.
And so one day, probably in my lifetime, I do believe in my lifetime, there will be a female president.
I agree. But the point that I'm making here is that right now, the number one focus should be getting the current president out of office. That is the task. I know 8, 9, 10, 20 years from now, we'll probably have a female president. We probably might have a homosexual president or a Latino president or whomever. But right now, focus and job number one is getting, excuse my French, that motherfucker out of office by any means necessary. So my point.
That's going to be a feat too. He has some strong followers. So this next election, you may be just as surprised as you was 4 years ago.
See, and that's the point. You know what they say? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. We all got fooled 2 years ago because we just thought there ain't no way this misogynistic, homophobic, racist, philandering guy is going to win. It's like there's no way someone of that poor of moral character could ever be given the task of leading our nation on being the leader of the free world.
But he has die-hard followers, supporters.
But that's beside the point, because if you looked at the polls, he never led in the polls. There was no. If you looked at the metrics, there was absolutely no indicator that this motherfucker, excuse my French, that this guy was going to win the election. There was none. So come election night, everybody was shocked. That he won. Weren't you shocked?
Of course.
Yeah.
So he'll do the same thing he did 4 years ago. He'll do it again. You'll be just as shocked.
And that's the thing. And PB, he said it better. Anybody heard say it just yet? He said this next election cannot be about him, because 2 years ago everybody made it about him, about his poor moral character, and there's just no way anyone in their right mind would vote for this guy enough for him to be president. So PB said we can't make it about him. We got to make it about the issues. Make it about us being better as a people and as a country, and fixing the problems that we have, and not making it all about him. Because if you make it about him, that's what he wants. Because all that does is it galvanizes his supporters to want to get out there and prove everybody wrong.
Right.
Okay. And I think that's what happened here. We made it all about him. Okay. And I think folks voted for him out of spite, just to prove a point.
Just not to have a female or Hillary in
Exactly.
Hillary Clinton in office.
Exactly. And I said the same thing about Kamala Harris. I love Kamala Harris. I think she's great. I think she has a lot of great qualities and everything. But I said she should not run for president. This is the wrong time for her to run for president. Because what we have to keep in mind is, and I've tried to make this point many a time when speaking about politics, is that America is almost 70% white. Okay, almost 70% white. So there is no way anyone would ever be president without the white vote. Okay, and coming off of Obama, having a black female being the next candidate to run against that guy, I think just based on the demographics alone, there's absolutely no way on God's green earth that she would win in this political climate.
It would be a tough feat.
Yeah, because as we will see, the current president has made racism, homophobia, sexism, misogyny sexy again. Okay. So all these people, all these closet racists now feel empowered.
That's true.
Okay. Yeah. All the people that live on the fringe of society, who felt disenfranchised and found solace in the current president's hatred, came out in droves and voted for him. Okay, and that's what we have to overcome, because those folks those swing voters, because the diehards are gonna vote for him no matter what. He said himself he can shoot somebody in Times Square and not lose votes. Those folks will vote for him no matter what. We've seen that. Okay, it's the swing voters that, because in Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Florida, Ohio, and those major electoral states, that's where the presidency was lost by Hillary. She just assumed that she would win in those states, and those swing voters in those states fooled everybody. They either stayed away from the polls or they voted for that guy, 4-5, David Dennison, individual number one. Okay, so. Point being is that we have the swing voters, those folks who are undecided, the folks who vacillate back and forth between Democrat and Republican. Those are the folks who are going to determine who is the next president. And if you have a homosexual having to win those people over, that's the task. That's the task that I don't think Kamala Harris can beat. Okay, or Buttigieg, PB, can beat, is those swing voters. And I think right now, what we need more than anything else, in just my opinion, is a white straight male who don't have any closet, any skeletons in his closet. That's what we need.
Like Joe Biden?
No, not Joe Biden, because Joe Biden was Obama's vice president, so he still has that Obama dirt on him. Okay, it has to be somebody who is not associated with Obama.
What's the guy in Texas?
Beto O'Rourke.
Yes.
Now, see, Beto, he was for a few weeks there. He was that guy. Everybody's like, hey, he got what it takes, and then all the stuff started coming out about him, the stuff he wrote when he was a teenager or whatever, about killing people and all this kind of stuff. So those are things that obviously the Republicans have jumped on, and Beto has already kind of fallen back a little bit. Okay, so now PB comes up, and like I said, trust me, as soon as you get a chance, Shauna, listen to Buttigieg. I'm telling you,
okay,
it'll blow you away.
I'm going to listen to him.
Okay, because like I said, if this guy had a wife and 2 kids, he would be the next president, in my opinion.
So he is indeed.
But him having a husband and 2 kids.
So he is indeed married.
Yeah, I believe he's married to that guy. Yeah. He's openly gay, obviously, and he was on like I said, he was on the Bill Maher. He was on on Bill Maher show on HBO. I forget the name of it. And once again, he speaks openly about You know, the fact that he's gay. You know, he doesn't run from it. He embraces it when well he should, which I think is going to further turn people away. You know, because and I'm talking about Democratic voters too, because at the end of the day, Republican or Democrat, you know, homosexuality cuts through all that. You know, it cuts through all that. And a lot of folks out there are still, I don't think there's enough folks out there who are open-minded enough, progressive enough to vote. You know, when it comes, excuse my French, when it comes down to the nut cutting and you get inside of that booth and you have to vote, I can't see enough people putting aside their homophobia and their prejudices against homosexuals to bring themselves to vote for them.
Well, this surely will be an interesting election, no matter what. This is probably going to be the election of the century.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt, and that brings it back once again to the topic at hand, is homophobia, and why people are so what's the word I'm looking for? Passionate about homosexuality. And folks, if you're listening, please, I want you to comment and chime in and hit me up like you always do and give me your thoughts on this. Why is it that what somebody else does with their personal life important to you? Okay, it's not like they're out there. It's not like, you know, because you can't. Homosexuality is not contagious. Okay, if you bump up against a homosexual person, you're not gonna become homosexual.
Really?
Yeah, really. If they breathe on you.
Uh-oh, I got it.
Exactly. You ever see that movie Outbreak?
I'm sure I have.
You know one with Dustin Hoffman and the monkey and the outbreak of this. Okay, you remember that scene where the guy's in the movie theater, he's sick, and he like sneezes, and they show like the little droplet of spit going into people's mouths, and then everybody else starting to die.
Yes.
So if a homosexual person sneezes in a movie theater, you're not gonna wake up the next morning. You know what? I want to go date a guy.
Or a woman.
Or a woman, yeah. I'm not gonna wake up tomorrow and say, you know what? I'm gonna find me some dick tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Okay now.
So chime in, folks. I wanna know, do you think homosexuality is contagious?
No.
Can they put it in a bottle?
I don't think anybody is going to be dumb enough to think that.
I think some people are though. Some people are. You know, there's folks out there who live on the farm and live in a trailer.
Yeah, maybe they think you can be brainwashed though.
Yeah, because I've told this story before, and I don't know if I ever told you this story before, Shonda. But when I was in the military, I had a roommate, white guy from Montana. Mm-hmm. Okay, and he had never seen a live black person before.
I can believe that.
Okay, and he told me that he believed that black people had tails.
Now that I don't believe.
He was raised.
Nobody can be that stupid.
Yeah, he was raised to. He had never seen a black person.
That's crazy.
And he was raised to believe that black people had tails, and that we descended from monkeys.
He had to have seen a black person at some point in time. He had a janitor.
No,
I'm stereotyping.
You ever been to Montana? Have you ever been to Montana? I've been to Montana. I was stationed in Montana for a little while. Let me tell you a true story.
That's true.
Let me tell you a true story. I went TDY to Montana. I was there for like 3-4 months, okay, when I was in the military. All right? I'm a black guy. I was in Missoula, Montana. Mm-hmm. I never saw a black person. Not one black person the whole time I was there. Not one.
Yeah, I can vouch for that.
Well, check this out. Okay, so my last day there, when I'm checking out of the hotel to go back to Texas, I go to check out. I was staying on base. I went to the Billington office to check out, and there was a black girl behind the counter. I walked in. She looked at me. I looked at her, and we both said almost simultaneously, "Where you been?"
Wow.
So I totally believe that you can, if you're raised in a place like that where there are no black people and only black people you see are on TV, you'll believe that. And I asked him that question. I was like, man, you seen black folks on TV, athletes or whatever? They don't have tails. He said, well, my dad told us
that's just ignorance.
It's ignorance. But his response was, and my dad told us that, black folks on TV, they have their tails surgically removed so they can be on TV.
That's just ignorant.
Yeah. Yeah, and this same guy, he was one of the coolest roommates I ever had. White guy from Montana. I'm not gonna give his name, but if you're out there listening, you know who I am. So, and I know who you are. So, how you doing? Anyways, I took him to a black nightclub in San Antonio, Texas. Mm-hmm. He briefly dated a black girl. He was about it. You know what I mean? He was about it. And to this day, he and I still keep in contact and everything. And I call him a good friend of mine. But that's the point that I'm making, is that there are a lot of folks out there who love them some David Dennison. Okay? And they're out there, you know, in buckfuck Montana, you know, living in a trailer, you know, and never been outside the county. Mm-hmm. They watch Fox News, and they believe everything they see and hear. And all they know is, you know, we hate immigrants, we hate black folks, we hate homosexuals, we love him. Mm-hmm. And those are the folks that are going to determine, who've already determined, because I'm sure a lot of those folks probably never even voted before. Mm-hmm. You know, and that's the obstacle, I think, that PB is going to have to face. So based on that alone, I hate to say it, but I don't want him to get the nomination. Not this time around. Not against that guy.
Right.
Not against that guy. I want him to be president one day, but not against that guy. And I think that he will be president one day, but not against that guy. It has to be somebody else. It has to be a straight white male with a clean background, impeccable record. You know, a wife and 2 kids. You know,
no skeletons.
No
racist comments in the past.
Exactly. No pictures or anything, or no sexual assaults or anything in his past. Can't nobody come out the woodwork and say, I got to picture him, you know, wearing a hood or something. Or
smoking crack.
Yeah, exactly. Can't be none of that. He's out there. So if you're out there listening, if you're that guy, please go ahead and throw your hat in the ring right now, because we need you. It's important. We need to borrow you for about 4 years.
Just 4 now.
Exactly.
Then you can be on your merry way.
Exactly. We'll keep the receipt. All right. So if you're listening out there, what you think? I need you to chime in. What do you think? Are you homophobic? And if you're homophobic, why? Has a homosexual ever done anything to you? Were you in prison or something? Is there something that turned you against? Was it your parents, your upbringing, church? Is there something out there that made you hate somebody that you don't even know because of what they do with their life? Mm-hmm. You know. Well, I mean, what's next? You gonna hate people because what? You know, I hate onions, and I hate anybody who eats onions. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? If you eat onions, I hate you.
You know, Sherry Pie hates onions.
Sherry Pie hates onions?
Yes.
I hate Sherry Pie.
I can't understand how she not like onions.
I don't like onions. I don't like onions either. I don't.
Oh my God.
I'll eat green onions, but I can't eat white.
Love me some onions.
Nah. So Sherry Pie, if you're listening, well, there's one thing you're not gonna agree on. We both dislike onions. Other than that, Sherry Pie, if you're listening, I'm certainly not studying you. I ain't bit more studying you, Sherry. Sherry Hubbard. No, Sherry Strong. Sherry Pie.
Sherry. All right, let's move along. You're gonna get off my friend. That's my girl.
So Sherry, if you're listening,
eat some onions.
Right, real shame for you. Turn that lights up. Turn that lights up. Those shame Sherry Pie. Throw some lights up all the time.
I think your viewers gonna think you having a seizure over here. You need to reel it back.
If you're listening, don't laugh. Don't laugh. This is something impactful and true. So if Sherry Pie is listening, she knows exactly what I'm talking about. Cause I'm right, real shame for her. She always talk about she don't like something.
Okay, I know your listeners. I said viewers. Your listeners. What is going on?
Listeners, viewers, whomever you out there listening, hit me up. If you want to find out what I'm talking about, hit me up, and we can do this. We can do this off book. I'm digressing over here, but like I said, if you had a homosexual encounter, please let us know. Comment below and let us know if that homosexual encounter made you hate homosexuals for your entire lifetime, or if you have an irrational hate for people for any reason, if you hate immigrants, if you hate Indians, or you hate Latinos, for whatever reason, you have a deep-seated hate for people because they're not like you. I want to find out why. Then I want you to get some help. Okay, because there's a number that you can call. It's 1-800. I'm stupid. and tell them Lonzo sent you, and you'll get 10% off your first visit. Okay, so hit me up on Twitter at whatlonzothinks. Email whatlonzothinks@gmail.com. Hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, you name it. Please comment below and let me know what your thoughts are. I really appreciate all my listeners out there. My subscribers, I appreciate it. Please subscribe. I still need to get my numbers up. I love your comments. I get a lot of comments. You know what? I've gotten a ton of comments and views on my one of my last shows. The Michael Jackson thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was actually going to chime in, but I decided not to.
Well, I totally appreciate it.
I enjoyed listening to it.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
And Lenny Kravitz.
Yes. And obviously my Prince reviews and everything. So I really appreciate everyone's comments, like especially on the Michael Jackson topic. It's been a lot of passionate comments about that. So I appreciate it. I want to see what you think about Pete Buttigieg, and the odds of him being our next president, and whether or not you are open-minded and progressive-minded enough to vote for someone who doesn't live like you, if you're not homosexual or whatever. So no, and if you're homosexual, I support you. I'm not homophobic, and I have nothing against anyone, no matter what they do with their life. I don't care if you're racist, like I said before. I don't care what you do with your life, as long as it doesn't infringe upon my rights, or as long as it's not illegal. I don't care what you do with your life. What you do when the door is closed and the lights are off and it's dark and you got R. Kelly playing in the background, I don't care. Okay? I really don't. As long as it's not illegal, you can love who you want to love. So continue to love the person that you love, be it a male or female or whomever. Love who you love. So that being said, you got any final comments?
No, this has been entertaining, and thank you for allowing me to listen in and chime in a little bit. It's been real.
Oh, and by the way, you have a podcast, so you might want to tell everybody about that.
Well, I do. My little brother, shall I say, I'm a little bit older than him. He has inspired me to start my own podcast, which is all about the biz talk. So look for me on YouTube, iTunes. Where am I?
Spotify.
Spotify. I'm really a little bit of everywhere. The Play Store, Google Plus, or something like that. So anyway, all about the biz talk, which is a show for entrepreneurial women or women who are looking to start a business. We talk about resources, and we highlight successful business owners, female business owners. Thank you.
So if you're listening out there, and if you're a female entrepreneur, hit us up, get more information. And it's a very valuable resource. So that being said, like I said, what do you think about today's topic, homophobia in the United States of America and the upcoming election, which could involve our first openly homosexual candidate for president? So chime in, let me know what you think, because as usual, I just told you what Alonzo thinks. And I ain't studying you. Bye.